Tonight I'm going to have to stay out late for work, so don't bother cooking me anything for dinner.
Alright, then Liz and I will be the only ones eating at home tonight. And now that you're here, I wanted to mention that a package came for you in the mail. It says that it needs to go in the freezer, but what is it?
I think there's something I'd ordered a long while back. I ordered up some good-looking New York strips. At the time, I'd also ordered some craft beers that should be with them as well. Have they not come yet?
Not that I've seen today.
Then they should be dropped off later this evening sometime, hopefully before 8 or 9. Make sure to be home to grab them for me as well, okay?
Well, we should be home for that, but in a little bit I'm going to have to run out and get Liz. I'll also have to shop for groceries. So, if we're not home by then, you may have to wait for tomorrow for me to grab the beer. Actually, could you just have the delivery date changed to tomorrow or something for me?
Huh?
What's wrong with doing that for me? It's not like you'll be drinking them tonight, right?
Well, I was going to at least stop by the house once this afternoon. I was hoping to grab myself one a taste before heading back out.
You'd have to drink before going back to work? That's not okay to do, Art.
What's so wrong with doing that? Being a little bit tipsy going back in is a great way to finish up my day at work.
That's not at all okay, though. You're just trying to make up an excuse for me to grab those beers tonight, right? I'm not going to listen.
But I've been doing so well with all my work here in this company, I think I deserve a break. I'll have you know that out of everyone in this department, I'm in the top. And I believe there's a promotion coming my way here soon.
Alright. I've heard you say that plenty of times already. But just be aware that I might not be home in time to grab those beers for you, okay? I have to leave here soon, and I'll be out of the house for a few hours, so hopefully it doesn't come during my time away.
I'll just hurry up and grab Liz and come right back. I really want to drink that beer today. Nothing's going to stop me. That's the whole reason I've been working so hard all day today.
I cannot get home any quicker than I'm already trying. I have to grab Liz, and then after that I need to grab groceries, because we're pretty much out of everything at home. I also have to swing by the city office today.
Why can't you just do all that tomorrow then? Just hurry up and come home early.
What do you keep going on about? If I do not get anything tonight from the store, then we won't have anything to eat for dinner. And if I don't go in today to the city hall, the next chance I'll get won't be for a little while.
Well, if that's the case, then you should have gone out sooner to have gotten all that done. Didn't even have to work today. You had all the time in the world to go out.
Well, I was stuck at home until noon doing a ton of chores at home. There was a lot of cleaning that needed to be done today. Just because it was my day off doesn't mean that I was just sitting around all morning. If I had the chance to go out earlier today, then I wouldn't be arguing with you about this right now. Maybe you could have asked for them to deliver those beers on a day you had off yourself?
When making the order, I assumed you'd always be at home to receive the item.
Well, then that's your fault for not thinking that I'd be busy myself.
You're becoming pretty useless, Kylie. Not even bothering to help me out right now. I've been looking forward to that beer all day, and now your attitude towards me has ruined everything.
Huh? Don't blame me for any of that. I've known for a while now that you like to always push all your problems onto me. But I am not as free as you think when it comes to my time. I have to balance out working, doing chores, and caring for Liz. And that's all a lot of work for me.
Not again with you acting like you're that busy.
What do you mean by acting?
You always like this when we get into arguments. Whenever you don't want to do anything for me, you make it seem like you have so many things to do that keep your hands tied up. To me, that all just sounds like poor excuses.
I'm not trying to act like I'm busy to avoid helping you. I'm actually very busy with a lot of things. Maybe if you helped out with some of the chores or with raising Liz, things would be different. I think the only reason you're saying things like that to me is because you don't understand how difficult all of this is. It seems like you're leaving me with doing almost all of the work.
Well, I have to focus on all my work, so I have no other choice.
I know for a fact that a lot of your coworkers are able to do their job and come home to do some things around the house. You saying you need to focus on work is the real poor excuse here.
Why do you know anything about how my co-workers' lives are going?
Because I'm friends with a lot of their wives and I hear about it from them.
Huh?
And a lot of those women are married to your coworkers and let me know about their lives all the time. Did you forget that I'm also aware of people around town? None of their husbands are perfect, but they at least will do some chores or go out with their kids when they have time to. For example, Jackie's husband is always doing the dishes after they all eat together. I'm jealous of her.
Jackie? Who even is that?
She would happen to be the wife of Cameron.
Oh, you're Cameron's wife.
Her husband is in the same department as you, right?
Oh, well, he ended up moving up in the company, so we don't see one another much now. He's a lot more time after the promotion, that's why he's able to do some work at home. But unlike him, I don't have that kind of free time on my hands.
I can understand that you probably put in a bit more effort than some others there at your work. But as a husband and father, you have other responsibilities. I'd like you to learn a thing or two about that from Jackie's husband.
I'm telling you that after the promotion, he was able to focus more on his family. And right now, I'd like to receive a promotion myself, so that's why I'm putting my all into this job.
Well, next week when I'm out of town for work for 3 days, will you be okay here alone with Liz? I'm a bit worried about leaving my daughter with you for those 3 days.
You already know that things will be okay here. 3 days will be nothing for me. Don't try and treat me like I'm some brainless idiot.
Kylie, where are you right now? I am working right now, but I'll be back in town in just a little while. What's going on right now, Jackie? Liz is in trouble right now. She was just in a huge accident. Huh? What do you mean a huge accident? Are you serious? My daughter should be back home right now with my husband, though. I'm not sure about any of that, but she was in the middle of the road when all of this happened. I know that for a fact. And she was hit by a car while walking down the left lane. You have to be kidding me. The car wasn't going all that fast, but it hit her hard enough to really do some damage to her head. She was bleeding a lot, and she wasn't conscious. Why did something like that happen to her? Where's my husband at? Is he not right there with her right now? It seems that she was out on the street all by herself. I didn't see her husband anywhere when the accident happened. There's no way that something like that could be possible, though. I had to go out of town for a business trip, and so I left Liz with my husband to watch over her for 3 days. He should be with her at all times, so why would he not be around right now? Why don't you try calling your husband? Do you think you can get back here any sooner? I'm already in my car and on my way now. And I'm about to try and contact him now. Try to calm yourself down on your way home. I think that she'll be okay for right now, as the EMTs have her in their care. And soon she'll be at the hospital and getting whatever she needs given to her. Are you going to the hospital with her right now? Yeah, we're almost there as we speak. Thank you so much. At least having you there with her calms me down a bit. Right now, a lot of people are doing their best to make sure that she's okay. Luckily, at the accident, there was a nurse who saw it unfold and came to help her immediately. Because of that nurse, she was able to slow down a lot of the bleeding and check to make sure nothing was too seriously wrong with Liz. A nurse? Is that the nurse from down the street a ways? That's right. But that's a few blocks down our street to her place, right? I have no idea what Liz was doing all the way out that way. I wonder if she just started to walk down the road on her way to a park or something. I don't think she'd go that far, though. I've told her many times now that going outside our yard isn't okay, so making it all the way out there is very unlikely. That makes sense. If it was around the house, I'd understand things a bit more. but going all the way out there by herself doesn't seem possible for her. I think down that way, there's one of my husband's favorite bars that he loves to go out to. Perhaps my husband brought her along with him to that bar? Are you joking? If that were the case, he would have at least noticed her leaving the bar or something, right? When my husband gets drunk, he begins to have trouble recognizing things around himself. It's even so bad that when he gets drunk, he totally forgets to check his phone and things like that. I think that he brought her along with him, and she was able to sneak out of there without him noticing. Did my daughter say anything to you? Well, she was passed out at the scene, but one moment she did come to and asked where you guys were before falling back into a haze. That was the only thing that came out of her mouth after she was hit. So she's been hit in the head that badly then. But she'll be alright, Kylie. I'm sure that she'll be waking up any minute now. When that happens, I'll make sure to ask her about what's all been going on with her and her dad. Thank you, Jackie. Hey, if this was happening to you, what would you do? What if you left your kids with your husband, and one of them got into an accident and your husband wasn't with them? Well, if that were to happen with my kids, I'd start out by probably being too pissed off to speak. And from there, things would probably get very intense when I found my husband. I'd make him pay for all that, and he'd never see my smile until he got what he deserved. That makes sense. But your husband would never do anything like that. Well, I'm getting on the highway now, so I'll be at the hospital as soon as I can. I'm sorry to have to ask you this, but please take care of Liz for me until I get there. That's not a problem at all. When you get here, send me a text and I'll come down to the lobby to get you.
Hey, why have you been trying to call me so much? If you're asking about Liz, she was outside playing a lot and is sleeping now. You're always trying to ask me about her. It's getting pretty annoying now.
Hello, Art. This is the wife of Cameron, Jackie you're speaking to. Right now, your wife is very busy with a lot of things on her plate, and so in her place, I will be talking to you. I'm sorry for calling you so many times while you were busy.
Huh? Oh, Cameron's wife? I'm so sorry, I thought you were my wife.
No worries, Art. I'm sure as her husband, you have a lot going on as well, right? I mean, during this huge emergency, you haven't once responded to her, so that must mean you have a lot going on yourself.
What do you mean by a huge emergency?
I want you to tell me what you mean by Liz being asleep after a long day of playing. Because as we speak, Liz is here with us at the hospital getting taken care of by the doctors. She was hit by a car today.
Huh? What, Liz was?
When I was coming from my part-time job, I passed by the moment the accident unfolded. And right then we had the ambulance come and I rode with her and watched over her the whole time. I also called your wife, and she came all the way back from where she was working to be here. But for the past couple of hours, you never answered any of her calls she made to you, so you had us all very worried.
Is that what's been going on? I'm sorry for... I understand that my wife is very busy at the moment, but what is she doing exactly?
She is having your daughter's condition all explained to her by the doctors. Understand that you will not be forgiven for this.
Kylie?
What do you mean 3 days wouldn't be a problem for you? What the hell did that all exactly mean? I thought you would have been watching our daughter for me, right? Well then why did she end up on the road by herself and get hit by a car?
Even to me, this is all brand new. What happened?
There's no way you don't understand what's happened here. Just a few minutes ago, Liz came to and told me all about what had happened between the two of you. You brought her to the bar with you so that you could do a little day drinking, and then left her without even noticing she was gone.
I did not just leave her.
But you didn't see her anymore after you started to drink, right? And she became bored after you wouldn't play with her, so she left the bar to go wander around. That's how she ended up getting hit by a car. If you would have just done your dang job as a dad and watched your daughter responsibly, then none of this would be happening. Hold on. If you hadn't had brought her to the bar in the first place, this wouldn't have happened to her.
Hold on a moment, Kylie. How badly is Liz injured right now? Is she going to be okay?
She's gone back to sleep again. But besides telling you that, I'm not saying anything else about her condition.
Why the hell not?
Because to me, you've shown that you're not fit to be her father anymore. Honestly, you're not going to be her father ever again now. You don't have the ability to be one, so forget it.
Please just tell me whether she's going to be okay or not.
Why should I?
Because I'm really worried about her.
You are worried about Liz? It was because of your lack of worry that this happened to her. This is all your fault.
I didn't think something like this would happen to her, though.
Well, to start, can you tell me exactly what was going on inside your head? I want to know everything about why you'd go drinking now, to why you lied about where Liz was at.
I just wanted to go out to my favourite bar and have a drink or two, some of my favourite cocktail. I had some free time on my hands, so I wanted to take advantage of it. But for the little bit I'd passed out at the bar, and during that time Liz must have left the place.
You had free time? How could you have had any free time when you were tasked with watching over Liz for me?
That's free time to me. She's able to play on her own now.
For any normal parent, they'd use that time to be a friend to their kid and play along with them. I'm sure that even at home, you just let Liz play by herself while you went and do your own things, right? You really are the most useless father that ever walked the earth. Even if you worked a full-time job, there's nothing else you're good for in this family. Before you start telling me about having time to day drink and pass out at bars, maybe use it to take care of your family.
I didn't mean to pass out at the bar, I just got really into those drinks. Normally I wouldn't drink as much as I did, and to be honest, I thought going out to the bar would have been nice to Liz as well. She'd be home all week. That's the whole reason I brought her along with me.
Don't try and act as though you were thinking about her. All you wanted was to get drunk earlier in the day and not have to worry about your own daughter. You didn't plan on passing out at the bar? Well, of course not, because nobody plans on that. If you had wanted to be passed out at the bar for a while, then not only would you fail as a father, but also fail at being a decent human being. Just because you didn't plan on it doesn't mean you get to be forgiven for this.
I'm sorry. I can see now that I'm not a great father. It was all my fault, but can you please forgive me for what happened today?
I already told you that you won't be forgiven.
Right now, I really regret with all my heart what has happened, and at the moment, I'm really worried about Liz. I really want to change the man I am and become someone that can help Liz. I'm telling you, I regret all of this.
Even if you do want to help her now, there's nothing that you could do for her. If you really do want to help her, then after this you'll be the one paying for both Liz's medical bills and for her child support.
Child support? Are you planning on leaving me?
Of course. I'm going to divorce you, Art. I've had enough of all of this crap you keep doing. Time after time, you've done things that have upset me, but this time is going to be the last. And as for Liz, she's better off not having a father rather than having someone as dangerous as you around her.
Well, I totally think it's okay for you to be that angry with me. After what has happened to Liz, it's only right that you're upset. But I've put a lot of thought into all this, and I want to change. Asking for a divorce is asking to have this family ripped apart.
If you really plan to change, then I'd know to forgive you. But right now, all I see is a sad excuse for a man. But you can go ahead and try to change. However, it won't have anything to do with Liz and I.
Please just give me one chance to change my ways. I promise that I'll become a caring father and husband for the both of you.
will not give you a chance. I'm pretty sure you had plenty of chances given to you already to change into a proper husband and dad. But you threw them all away, and I ran out.
I'm sure that with how things are right now, you're not going to tell me the location of the hospital, huh? I already see that you're there with Jackie anyway. You sure you don't want me around?
I had wanted you here with me for a while now, yet you never answered or came. At this point, if you were to vanish right now, Liz and my life would not really change. Actually, if anything, us both being gone would finally give you all the time you've been wanting to focus on that job of yours. That's great for you.
Even if I have my job, not having you both around is not going to be possible for me.
Are you finally coming around to seeing how important family is?
I am. Please don't leave me.
All you're going to have left is your job. Although your chances of succeeding may be in danger now.
Why'd you say that?
Did you forget that Jackie is right here with me? What has happened today will all be passed on from her to Cameron, and then I'm sure he'll let the company know about you. I'm not sure if that will have any effect on your job, but even if it's just a little, I think the company will have a worse image of you.
That's what you mean. In the end, I'm going to pretty much lose my family and job then, huh? And that means my life is over.
I believe so, Art. As for Liz and I, we don't need you in our lives. If you understand that now, you need to get lost. I understand you acting as though you've realized the importance of your family. But that just seems like a load of crap to me. After that, Liz was in no harm and was able to make a good recovery from her head injury. For the time that she was in the hospital, I did not allow my husband to come in and see her, but after a week and her being let out, I finally came around to letting him come. After seeing his daughter covered in cuts and bruises with a wrap around her head, he was crying and apologizing to the both of us, but I knew that it was all for show. Just as I said, I got my divorce from Art, and then my daughter and I left and went back to my parents' house. At the moment, I'm on leave from work and am helping my family back home with their business. And luckily, after the divorce, my ex has been keeping up with paying the child support for Liz. But there was one bit of story that I heard from Jackie a little bit after the divorce, and that's that my husband had changed after we left him. He no longer would talk to anyone and became quite a gloomy character. And because of that happening to himself, he slowly began to distance himself from work, and his image there began to slip. He may have tried to make me believe that he changed into a better person, but I no longer have the patience to love a man like him. I never did tell him this, but if he's really looking for my forgiveness, all he has to do is show me that he can become a real man.